Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. So sometimes I lose track of what day and date it is, and usually that's because I'm so absorbed in my working. Whether it's a Sunday or a public holiday, you can usually find me working. For instance, just yesterday I realized that we're now going into December of 2020. This crazy, weird and challenging year will soon be over. And I'm sure that 2021 is going to be incredible in comparison. Although I said the exact same thing at the end of 2019. What's interesting about 2021, it's going to mark a full decade since the biggest year of my life when it came to turning points. 2011 was where things finally started happening for me in my primary business. And this is not a business lesson, but I just want to talk to you about turning points. I started to achieve real results. And up until that point, I had seriously begun to wonder whether it was even possible for me. And here's what I figured out. If you stick at something for long enough and you have the right strategy, then eventually you're going to reach a turning point. Most people don't experience their turning point because they think that their strategy is not working. They don't see results coming in and they give up, or they change directions. They try another strategy for, say, another 3 months, and that doesn't work either. They don't see results, so then they think, okay, I'll try something else. And that becomes their life, constantly changing directions again and again. And the more that they do it, the more deeply ingrained the belief becomes that nothing is ever going to work for them. They start to question their own ability and their own talent. They question their choices. Their confidence and their self-belief takes a beating. Or they preserve their confidence and their self-belief, and instead they put all the responsibility and blame on other people. They say things like, it's their fault that I'm not getting the results that I thought I would. Now, if you're trying to achieve some goal and it's not working, then how do you know if it just requires more time and perseverance, or it's entirely the wrong strategy? It's really simple. You find others who have achieved the result in your industry that you're aiming for, and then you find out what they did. And how do you find that out? Well, you ask them. Most people who've reached the top of their field, usually they will oblige with telling other people how they did it happily, as long as they feel the other person is sincere and they are serious about doing well. You see, prior to 2011, I couldn't work out what I was doing wrong, and I would go to these live events and I would see all these people who were doing really well. Often they were the people who were presenting. So during the breaks, I would go and ask them questions. And over time, I figured out that these people, as long as they could see that you were serious, and often that required that you pay them some money, you either buy an hour of their consulting or you buy their program or whatever you needed to do to show them you were serious. But when they could see that you were serious, often they were an open book. And that really surprised me, just how open they would be. So I started to do that. I started to purchase their time. I remember one guy who I was actually promoting and I was getting some mild results, but he noticed. And I had a choice between getting either an iPad, which I had won, it's like an iPad or some device worth about $400, or he said he would give me 1 hour of his time, his expertise. And I said, okay, I'll take the 1 hour. So I got on a Skype call with him, and it really did surprise me just how open he was with sharing all his different strategies and what he was doing. He literally shared his screen. And so I remember I went back to that same guy numerous times, probably 4 or 5 times, where I paid him for an hour. And over the years, I built a relationship with him. We became friends, and I could pick up the phone when I wanted, call him, and we shared what we were doing. But that surprised me because after that point, I started to meet other people in this industry who were doing well, and they were very open about what they were doing. So that's what I recommend for you. Let's say you want to do really well in your career or the company that you work for. Find someone who is high up on the management chain, who's doing very well, and perhaps you admire them. And ask to go and buy them lunch. Ask to take them out to dinner, and just show them that you are earnest and you are sincere in wanting to do really well. And when they see that you're earnest and sincere about doing well, often they're going to be an open book. I hope that helps you in some way. Don't forget to subscribe if you like these kind of videos. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.